My name is Richard Pride Hughes III. I was born January 6, 1972 in Las Vegas, Nevada. 40 years old at the time of filming this. And I want to do a video really quick to set the intention for this website, alwaysalreadyperfect.com, and to kind of explain what the purpose of this thing is. It's basically this. It's to take my own life to the highest level I possibly can in a broad way, to look at what I've identified as being 10 different areas of my life, and I think of most people's lives, that are of probably the highest significance, and to really try to do the very best that I can in all of those areas. Many times I see people that are, they have a passion in their life. There's something that they're really great at, that they excel at, and they're good at that, and then other areas in their life fail. So for example, they might be great in their work and they don't have a very good relationship with their wife or their kids or their partner, or their finances might be awesome but their health is really poor, or they have no creative outlet, or any of these kinds of things. So it's actually really rare, very rare, that I come across anybody that even has half of these areas really flourishing for them. So for the last year and a half, I've been living by myself. I've spent around 500 days, to some degree of isolation. I've had people around me at different times, but for the most part, I've been by myself. And during that time, I've been really looking for a purpose. I keep thinking, oh man, there's something in this reality that you're supposed to be doing. What is it? What is it? And I look and I look and I look and I don't find it. And I've done well in certain areas. I've been successful as a musician and as a web designer, and when I really try at something, I usually do pretty well in it. I'm usually in the top 20%, but I'm not in the top 1%, and I think that's probably true for a lot of people. So the goal of this project, is to bring my life to the highest level I can in 10 different areas that I've identified to start with, and to document the thing. And here's the reason I want to do it. I'm hoping that documenting it will make me feel more accountable in all these areas, to really push as hard as I can. And the reason to push as hard as I can, is both to have a good experience for myself, a grand experience, but also hopefully to inspire some others. It's not really an ego thing. It's like I've really spent a lot of time looking at this reality that we're in, whatever you want to call this thing, and I don't see what the purpose of doing anything is if it doesn't have a positive effect on other people. After all, there's plenty of other people in this equation, and so this isn't really an ego thing. It's more like, in a certain sense, it's actually a killing off of the ego in many ways, or replacing parts of it, because there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to do that I don't want to do, that I'm not comfortable with or I'm afraid of, and the parts of me that are afraid of those things or uncomfortable with them has to go, and in a way that person has to kind of die off. Those elements have to die off. They'll be replaced with hopefully more empowered new parts of myself, and so hopefully I can inspire some other people to flourish in their own life. So I thought a lot about how I'm going to do this, and I'm not really an authority on anything, really. And I'm not trying to be an authority. I try to find the most effective way to flourish in these different areas that I possibly can, and do the absolute best. I'm a really diligent person. I'm very dedicated to things, and I definitely have the discipline to excel and kind of make an experiment out of myself a bit. So in each of the areas, I'm going to start exactly where I'm at. I'm not going to try to suggest that I'm further along or I'm worse off. I'm just going to be 100% honest. This is where I'm at. I'm going to be totally transparent, talk about how much money I have. I'm going to talk about every little aspect of where I'm at, because I have nothing to hide. I couldn't care less if everybody knows every little last thing about me. It makes no difference to me. So I'm going to do regular posts. My goal initially is to try to do one post every 3 days. I have 10 areas that I'm going to focus on. That means that really I'll only look at each area once a month. The good thing is that I'll be able to take stock of where I'm at, set forth some massive action plan, you know, for each area for the month, and then follow through with it. And then of course, each time I do a video or whatever, or a check-in, I can talk a little bit about where I'm at and any progress that I've had. I also think I'm going to do, or intend to do, a Twitter page that kind of like documents how things are going on a more you know, subtle level, periodically. So you know, I'm really excited about doing this. I really am. I feel like I feel really great about it. I feel like I have some kind of passion that's kind of flooding into my being, knowing that, here's the thing, I look at all these areas that I'm going to focus on and I go, man, if you really excel in these areas, you're going to have a pretty fucking magical life, you know? And anything that's feels like it's in lack right now, or is missing, is going to have to come in. There's no way around it. And I also feel like, you know, when you're doing your absolute best and you're putting yourself out there, great things happen. You know, that's how it's been in my life. I've had a really, in certain ways I've had a really challenging life, and in other ways the universe is so gentle and giving to me, you know. So in any case, I intend to do my very best, both for me and hopefully for you too, if any of this is interesting to you. If it is, please share this stuff with people, you know, on Facebook, or in any way that really makes sense to you. I'm gonna do it whether I have anybody following me or inspired by me or not. But it certainly would be great. You know, in the past I've had some people that have, you know, like recently in last year, I've really done a lot of working out and controlling my eating and such, and I've inspired some other people to do that. It makes me feel really good. They feel good because they've got some results. I feel great because they saw me do something and they got inspired to do it. It's actually very humbling in a way. I find that the ego in me creeps up when I'm deficient in something, you know, because I'm trying to compensate for it. So, you know, in a certain sense, there might be some of that right now, because there's certain areas of my life that I am deficient in. But ultimately, I feel like I'm on a great spot in my life to make a huge leap into some great things, and I want to take you along with me. So thanks for watching this, and please share this stuff if it's interesting to you, and I think it's gonna be a fun ride.